Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Way to Fluency. I'm Clara.
And I'm David. We're so glad you decided to spend your time with us today. Whether you're listening while walking to work, cooking dinner, exercising, or just relaxing at home, we want to make your English learning time enjoyable and productive.
Absolutely. And today's topic is one I'm very excited about: 5 daily habits that will transform your English forever.
And when we say transform, we mean it. These are not temporary tricks or shortcuts. These are real, long-term habits that can change the way you think, speak, and understand English.
And the best part? You don't need hours of study or complicated grammar books. You just need to make English a part of your everyday life.
Think of it like watering a plant. If you give it a huge amount of water only once a month, it will probably die. But if you give it a little water every single day, it will grow strong and healthy.
Exactly. Language learning is like that plant. It needs small, regular care.
And these habits are flexible. You can adapt them to your schedule, your hobbies, your lifestyle.
So, let's get started. And remember, while listening, try to imagine yourself doing these habits. The more you visualize them, the easier it will be to put them into practice. Our first habit might sound obvious, but trust me, it's one of the most ignored by learners. You need to speak English every single day, even if you don't have anyone to talk to.
Right? I can almost hear some of you thinking, but how can I speak if I don't have a conversation partner? The truth is, you don't actually need one to get started.
Exactly. Speaking is like training a muscle. If you don't use it, it gets weak.
Many learners spend months or even years learning grammar and vocabulary, but they rarely speak. Then, when they try, they feel nervous, slow, or completely blocked.
That's because speaking is an active skill. Reading and listening are passive. You can take your time to process. Speaking, on the other hand, requires speed and confidence.
So, one of the easiest ways to start is to talk to yourself out loud during your daily routine.
Exactly. Describe what you're doing. I'm making coffee, I'm washing the dishes, or I'm checking my emails.
And after you get comfortable with short sentences, start adding more details. I'm making coffee because I have a lot of work today, and I need energy.
Another fun way is to imagine you're giving instructions to someone who can't see you. For example, if you're cooking, explain every step. Now I'm chopping the onions into small pieces. Next, I'm heating the pan with a little olive oil.
You can even pretend you're hosting a show. Imagine you're a YouTuber, a chef, or a travel guide. It might feel silly at first, but it makes the process fun. And fun means you'll keep doing it.
Yes. I once had a student named Sophia, from Brazil, who was very shy. She avoided speaking because she thought she needed perfect grammar first.
I remember you told me about her. She changed her approach completely, right?
Exactly. She started talking to herself while driving, while cleaning the house, even while brushing her teeth. At first, she was slow, but within 3 months, she could speak for several minutes without stopping.
That's the thing. Daily speaking removes fear. You stop thinking, oh, I need to be perfect, and you start thinking, I just need to keep going.
And here's an important note. Don't stop mid-sentence to think about grammar rules. Mistakes are fine. Fluency comes first. Accuracy comes later.
If you want an extra challenge, try recording yourself once a week. Pick a topic like my weekend or my favorite hobby and speak for 2 to 3 minutes without stopping. Later, listen to your old recordings and compare. You'll be amazed at your progress.
Also, use new words you've learned. If yesterday you learned the word delicious, find a way to use it today. This soup is delicious. That dessert looks delicious.
The more you speak, the faster your brain finds the right words. And when you meet a real conversation partner, the words will come naturally.
So, habit number 1 is simple but powerful. Speak every day. Don't wait until you feel ready. Just start.
If speaking is the muscle you train by using your mouth, then listening is the fuel that powers it. You can't speak well if you haven't heard enough English.
Yes, listening is the foundation of language learning. It's where your brain absorbs the sounds, rhythm, and flow of English. Even your pronunciation improves when you listen regularly.
And here's the key. You need daily exposure. Not once in a while. Not just on weekends. Every single day.
20 minutes a day is enough to make a huge difference over time. Think about it. 20 minutes isn't much. That's one episode of a short podcast, a few YouTube videos, or even part of a movie.
Exactly. And you can fit it into your routine without changing your life. Listen while you cook, clean, drive, or take a shower.
I love telling my students about hidden time. It's the moments in your day when your hands are busy, but your mind is free, like when you're waiting for the bus, folding laundry, or walking your dog. That's perfect listening time.
And here's something important. You don't have to understand 100% of what you hear. In fact, it's okay if you only understand 60 or 70% in the beginning.
Yes, because your brain is still learning to recognize sounds and patterns. Even if you don't understand every single word, you're still training your ear and building familiarity.
Here's an example. When I was learning Spanish, I used to listen to the same 5-minute podcast every day for a week. At first, I understood maybe half of it. By day 7, I could repeat many sentences exactly as I heard them.
That's a great point. Repetition is powerful. Sometimes it's better to listen to the same material multiple times than to always choose something new.
And choose topics you enjoy. If you like sports, listen to sport commentary. If you like cooking, find English cooking videos. When the topic is interesting to you, you'll pay more attention.
I remember one student, Marcos, who loved cars. He started listening to car reviews and racing podcasts in English. He didn't think it was studying because it was fun. But in a few months, he started using words like horsepower and fuel efficiency without even thinking.
That's the beauty of enjoyable listening. It doesn't feel like homework.
And here's another tip. Mix different accents. Listen to British English, American English, Australian English. At first, it might feel challenging, but it makes you more adaptable in real conversations.
Exactly. In the real world, you won't only hear one accent. And the more variety you expose yourself to, the less surprised you'll be when someone sounds different from what you're used to.
For example, watch an American TV series one week, then switch to a British documentary the next. Or listen to an Australian podcast one day and a Canadian one the next.
And remember, you don't have to study every audio you listen to. Sometimes you can just let it play in the background while you do other things. This is called passive listening, and it's great for training your brain to accept English as part of your environment.
But also dedicate some time to active listening, when you focus completely and try to catch every detail, maybe even pausing and repeating parts. A balance of both is ideal.
And here's my final advice for this habit. Be patient. Listening skills grow slowly, but suddenly, one day, you'll realize you understood an entire conversation without translating in your head.
It's such a rewarding feeling. So, habit number 2 is clear. Listen to English for at least 20 minutes every day. Make it part of your life, and your brain will thank you. If listening is about input through your ears, then reading is about input through your eyes. And both are essential for growing your vocabulary and understanding of English.
Yes, and I want to make something very clear. You don't have to read huge, complicated novels to improve your English. Even short, simple reading can make a huge difference if you do it daily.
Exactly. Many learners think reading means studying with a dictionary in hand, stopping at every unknown word. That can be exhausting. Instead, think of reading as a relaxed, enjoyable habit, something you want to do, not something you have to do.
Let's talk about some easy ways to make it part of your day. For example, you could read short news articles in English. Many websites even have simplified versions for learners.
Or read blogs about topics you like. If you love travel, read travel blogs. If you enjoy cooking, find recipes written in English.
And if you're into social media, follow English-speaking accounts that post captions and comments you can read daily. That way, you're practicing without even realizing it.
I once had a student, Anna, who started reading English subtitles on Instagram Reels and TikToks. At first, she was just enjoying the content. But after a few months, she noticed she could read faster and understand more without translating.
That's a perfect example of how reading doesn't have to be formal. Even small amounts add up over time.
But here's an important tip. Don't get stuck on every new word. If you stop too often, you lose the flow and the joy of reading. Try to guess the meaning from the context first.
Right? For example, if you read, "She grabbed her umbrella because it was pouring outside," you might not know the word pouring, but you can guess it means raining heavily.
Exactly.
And after you see pouring in different contexts a few times, the meaning will become natural without needing to look it up.
Another fun way to read in English daily is with graded readers, books written for learners at different levels. They're perfect for B1/B2 learners because the vocabulary and grammar are just challenging enough without being overwhelming.
I used graded readers when I was learning French, and it was amazing. I felt like I was reading a real book, but I could actually understand it and finish it. That sense of accomplishment was so motivating.
And here's another idea: read out loud sometimes. This combines reading with speaking practice, and it helps improve pronunciation, rhythm, and confidence.
Yes. In fact, that connects to a technique called shadowing, which we've mentioned before. You read and speak along with a recording to match pronunciation and speed. But for now, just reading out loud can already make a big difference.
And don't forget, you can mix short reading with deep reading. Maybe you read a short tweet in English in the morning and a few pages of a book at night. That variety keeps things interesting.
So, the bottom line for habit number 3, read something in English every day, no matter how small. Your vocabulary will grow, your understanding will deepen, and you'll start thinking more naturally in English. This is one of my favorite habits because it doesn't require any special materials, just your mind. Habit number 4 is think in English every day.
Yes, and I know this might sound strange at first. People ask, how can I think in a language I don't speak fluently yet? But here's the thing. You already think in pictures and ideas. You just need to train your brain to connect those ideas directly to English words without going through your native language.
Exactly. Many learners slow themselves down because they always translate in their head. They hear something in English, translate it to their native language, think of the answer, then translate it back into English. That process takes time and energy.
Thinking directly in English removes that delay. It makes your speaking faster and more natural.
One simple way to start is to describe what you see in your head silently as you go about your day. For example, when you're walking to work, you might think, "The sky is blue today. That car is going very fast. I feel hungry."
And when you don't know a word, don't panic. Try to explain it using other English words. For example, if you don't know the word ceiling, you could think the wall above my head. This keeps your brain in English mode.
Yes.
I call this circling around the word. It's like playing a little game with yourself. How can I explain this idea using only the English I already know?
Another way to practice is during moments when you're alone. For example, when you're cooking, imagine you're telling a friend in English what you're making. "I'm chopping tomatoes for the salad. Now I'm adding salt and olive oil."
Or when you're stuck in traffic, you can think about your plans for the day in English. "When I get home, I will take a shower, then watch a movie."
I had a student, Daniel, who used this method on his daily commute. He had a 40-minute bus ride every morning, and he decided that the bus ride was English thinking time. In a few months, his speaking speed doubled because his brain was already warmed up in English before he even started talking.
That's a great story. And it shows that thinking in English is like preparing your brain's language engine before you actually speak.
Here's another tip. Change the language settings on your phone or computer to English. That way, you're forced to see and think in English during the day.
Yes. Even small things like reading settings instead of configurations train your brain to see English as normal.
And you can also label objects in your mind. When you see your chair, think chair. When you see your keys, think keys. Over time, this becomes automatic.
I love that because eventually you stop translating and start living in English, at least in your thoughts.
And that's the goal. If you think in English daily, you'll not only speak faster, but you'll also make fewer grammar mistakes because your brain will be more used to English sentence structures.
So, habit number 4 is clear. Train your mind to think in English every day. Start small, and soon it will become second nature. Our final habit is all about making sure you keep what you learn. Habit number 5. Review and reuse new English words and phrases every day.
Yes, a lot of learners get excited when they learn something new. They might write it down or repeat it a few times. But if they don't see or use it again, it disappears from memory.
That's because our brains are like gardens. If you plant a seed but never water it, it won't grow. New words are seeds. You have to water them by reviewing and using them regularly.
And reviewing doesn't have to be boring. You can do it in creative ways. For example, if you learn the word adventure, you could use it in a sentence when talking to a friend. This weekend will be an adventure.
Or you could write a short note about your day using your new words. Today was challenging, but I learned something new.
Another technique is the 3 times rule. Use a new word at least 3 times on the day you learn it. Once in speaking, once in writing, and once just thinking about it.
Yes, I used this when I was learning Italian. If I learned the word for window, I would say it when I saw a window, write it in my diary, and think about it when looking outside.
And it's also helpful to review in short bursts. Instead of trying to memorize 50 words at once, focus on 5 or 10 words a day and keep reusing them until they become natural.
I remember student Livia, who created a word of the day routine. Every morning, she chose one word and made it her mission to use it as many times as possible. By the end of the month, she had 30 new words she could use without thinking. David.
That's a fantastic method because it's simple and motivating. You can even set reminders on your phone to check your words during the day.
And remember, reusing doesn't mean only in conversations. You can use your words when sending texts, posting on social media, or even when talking to yourself.
So, habit number 5 is simple but powerful. Review and reuse what you learn every single day. That's how you turn knowledge into fluency.
All right, let's do a quick recap of today's 5 daily habits that will transform your English. Speak English every day, even if it's just yourself. Listen to English for at least 20 minutes a day. Read in English every day. Think in English every day. Review and reuse what you learn daily.
These habits might seem small, but when you combine them and do them consistently, they build incredible results.
And remember, you don't need to be perfect. You just need to be consistent. Small steps every day will take you further than giant steps once in a while.
If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to join us again tomorrow for more tips and practical advice to help you reach fluency.
This is Way to Fluency, where learning English becomes part of your life. Until next time.
Keep practicing, keep smiling, and keep going. Bye for now.